So when did you meet Bart Gunn?
When I went, like, Ron and Don were only coming into town every so often, and I was, like, chomping at the bit to do this now, like, on my off, when I, like, at night or whenever I was off work or whatever. So I'm, like, chomping at the bit to know more. So Eddie Mansfield, who he had his school, but nobody ever went to, except for Bart.
Yeah.
And then he went, and I went, and we kind of met up, and we were the only ones that would ever come, and nobody else would come, nobody that would train or anything. So me and him were kind of self-teaching each other by watching stuff on TV, and then we get in there and implement it. But the problem with that is you have no rhyme or reason why you're doing it. You're just doing it because it looks really cool.
Right.
So that lacks.
You see the moves, you're executing moves, you just don't know why you do them. So there's the void of psychology.
Yes, there's no psychology whatsoever. Here's a spot without hitting, because we're not really kind of there yet or doing anything dangerous. Here's a spot that looks really cool. Okay, I'm going to run it and you be the guy that takes it all. And then you run it and I'll be the guy that takes it all. So it's kind of like that kind of lingo until Blackjack Mulligan comes around and goes, okay, fellas, whoa, settle down here. And then he kind of got us kind of kicking a little bit.
He smartened you up. I mean,
yeah, that smartened us up. We were smartened up because we kind of knew.
Yeah, but I mean, he gave you, hey, here's some 101 psychology.
Yes, very much.
Why
so.
you're doing it?
Yes, very much so. And taking all that stuff that we don't need to do, and then here, let's add this.
Hey, man, you guys are both big athletic guys back in the day and to this day. But Bart, when they started doing the brawl for it all or brawl for all, whatever the hell it was called, all of a sudden, man, I think they wanted Dr. Death Steve Williams to win the thing.
Of course they did.
Dude, here comes Bart.
And I told JR from the get-go, don't put Bart in it. I told him from the start, I said, don't put him in it because he's going to crush everybody.
Okay, well, give me the backstory, because I heard that he was a bad stick of wood in his neighborhood or scene in Florida. What was up?
Yeah. Like when Mike says, so when Mike walked in any place in Titusville, people separate like the Red Sea. Because he, although probably one of the nicest guys on planet, he's another one. Super nice, easy going. But once he gets going, just go away. Go, because some really bad shit's about to happen. Like, it's not good. Like, I've heard so many stories about him cleaning places out. I've seen him clean. He was at one club in Orlando, and I think it was like 15 guys until he got a bottle stuck in his side. If you notice, he has that scar on his side. That's where he had a Boone's Farm bottle shoved in his side and still whipped 10 guys and then just looked down and went, hey, where'd that come from? Like, he's just that, he's that guy. And when they started putting that all together and he was in, and I just started laughing. And of course, JR loved JR to death. This was a Steve Williams thing. This, because he's just kind of coming in the business. It's kind of get him because he's had that reputation. But I just think he was just too deep. I mean, Steve was a badass in his
but he's more all-American wrestler.
Yes. So Bart's that. Now you can wrestle and hit. They figured, okay, that'll balance out. Well, you actually have to get to the wrestling part, but Bart's knocking people out before they even get to that part. So I think it was a disaster all around. And then you put him in there with, the end result is WrestleMania with Butterbean. You put him in there with a professional fighter, and it's kind of, let's put an end to Bart's reign, which to this day, Bart still wants to fight him.
Yeah, but I'd heard, and you can clarify this, but I'd heard that because he was going to fight Butterbean, who was a boxer with technique, and Bart was just a fighter with a lot of power and a heavy right hand. Probably just nasty to begin with. But I'd heard that he had started taking some boxing lessons.
That's
got in his head.
Exactly. That's exactly where everything went awry. There was no part of boxing and no part of finesse. And it was, okay, ding, ding, and start swinging. So whenever they started to set this up, they said, hey, we're going to get you ready for this. We're going to have you go do less. So now he's taking boxing lessons. So he comes out trying to box, and Butterbean, just ducks his heads and slings them. Like, I think that's what bothers Bart the most, is that he knows that messed it up. That was the thing that put the brakes on it, because he went in there going, so now I have to fight him. Now I have to go learn how to box and move my feet and stuff. No, that ain't what brought you to the dance. Those big old mittens you got brought you here. Just sling them around.
What's he doing now?
He was a master electrician out at the Cape.
That's awesome.
Before he started getting into wrestling. Then he got into wrestling, but then when he got out, he did this stint in Japan, was a big, huge deal over there. in Japan for about 8-9 years, I think. And then came back and redid all his licensing, and now he's a master electrician again, loving life.
Is he still training? He's still a big dude?
He's about 305, and he's just monstrous. He's always, like, he's so long-waisted, but his shoulders are, he's just...
Oh, dude, that dude's got the broadest shoulders. I mean...
He's so big.
His frame.
Yes.
It's like an NFL defensive end frame. I mean,
He's big.
you can see him on TV, but yeah, if he fell out that frame, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Strong?
Did. Very. He's always been very strong.
So is he done? He's not going back and forth to Japan anymore?
No, he doesn't do it.
He's happy?
No, he don't care. We do a couple of signings once in a while. If he wants to, he'll do some signings, but he's over it. He's done. He's happy. His life is there, and it's all good.
Huh.
We all grow up. I'm still trying to get there.